Hey everyone, welcome back. The next episode of Dub, Drink Up, Burn Down. Paul Horn, Steve Kwan, Chad Narani. Today, student loan forgiveness. Why? What is going on with that? So anyways, I think we got a mix of opinions here today. But first, as always, let's kick off with what is that tasty cigar we're smoking and what are these tasty drinks we got?
Ladies and gentlemen, today we are honored by Man of War. It's an AJ Fernandez cigar. What's rare about this is it's got a dark Ecuadorian Habano wrapper, which Ecuadorian Habano wrappers are typically lighter than this. You've seen in our previous episodes. And this smokes very, very like medium to like medium full, but it's really on the medium side, right? I mean, not so much of a full flavor, but we'll see if when it opens up. And it's got a rich sort of sweet and spice to it, but it's not overwhelming. So I can see why we kind of paired it with what we have here. But overall, I mean, right now, this is a Robusto size. The draw is perfect, and we've never done a Man of War. I'm glad we are. AJ Fernandez, you guys do very, very well cigars.
So we're doing it with root beer.
Yep.
Not your everyday root beer, but Paul, why are we doing root beer? This is a Paul idea. Something he's been hearing about, apparently.
Yeah. So as you guys know, I moved out to Phoenix about a month ago. There's some people in Phoenix that I follow. Shout out to the Cigar Chairman and Chef Jay specifically, where I've been seeing, especially Chef Jay has been posting a lot of these root beers with the Maduro, the dark cigars. He prefers the spicy type, and been raving about it. And Silver Leo and a lot of other people I interact with on Twitter have been raving about it lately. And so this is the new fad at the moment with the group I interact with on Twitter. So haven't tried it myself, wanted to try it out.
It's actually delicious. The sweet and spicy mix is so wonderful, actually.
And then Chad took it a step further. We got a little float going on here.
Yeah, right, vanilla ice cream root beer float.
Oh,
the best thing is, if you haven't tried it, this is not your father root beer. So the idea here, it is like almost 6% alcohol root beer. Tastes like you can't taste booze. Like, it's so dangerous having a 6% root beer because it tastes like you're drinking a Barks root beer. It's got all the bite you'd expect from a Barks and 6% alcohol. It is so tasty. You know we had to put alcohol in our cocktail. So with that, guys, let's get into the topic at hand. Student loan forgiveness. We all know Biden just passed it. Up to $20,000 of Pell Grants, $10,000 without that. You know, they're just going to wipe out.
Per person, so if you're a married couple, that doubles.
Of your student loans, of your federal student loans, not private student loans. So let's kick off with Paul today.
All right. I will. It'll get better after me, I promise. I just think this is probably the dumbest idea out of DC that we've seen in a long time. And that's saying a lot because DC has nothing but dumb ideas on both sides. This isn't like Democrat or Republican. It's just most
bad
ideas. Yeah. Bad idea generators. That's DC, in my opinion. Anyways, like this whole idea of like forgiving student loans, I'm actually okay with the idea of it because college is way too expensive. In my opinion, it shouldn't be the way it is. These tuitions, we shouldn't see Harvard and Yale with these freaking hundreds of millions grants and endowments. Like, it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. But this whole idea of forgiving $10,000 or $20,000, but there's this income cap where if you go to college and you're successful, oh great, you have to pay back your own debt. But if you go to college and you go to Harvard for 4 years and get some degree that has nothing to do with anything, and you're working at Starbucks, like,
and you do shitty in life,
you shouldn't be rewarded for that.
Exactly.
And so I have an issue, and I have an even bigger issue where I have a lot of friends that have done trades, didn't finish it, didn't do a 4-year college, wasn't for them, learned a trade, a skill set, and they're making as much, if not more, than other friends that have college degrees, and they're having to pay for someone else's college debt.
Yep, right.
That's a freaking crock of crap. And to me, this is no different than the whole scam that is these rebates on cars, electric cars. Right? They issue like these new $7,500 grant on electric cars. What happens the very next day? Ford and GM raise their price on their EVs, their electronic vehicles, by the same $7,500. It's a crock of crap. You're just making the corporations richer, where the whole idea is not to do that.
All right, we need to douse some
So,
cold water on this guy because he's getting heated up.
It is
I'll tell you
100
guys.
degrees on Labor Day. This is a pool party. And
It
this is what we
is.
do in our topics,
Yes,
right?
absolutely.
We have a cocktail, we have cigars, and we debate just fun stuff like this. And this is the entire point of Dubs.
Yeah, but Paul's bringing in the Arizona heat to California, and I'll tell you,
it's a little
I
spicy.
actually like the idea, but the execution, I don't know. You know, it's a little dicey for me. I mean, to pay for education, I think there should be something for the near future and for the future of our generations to come for a program like this to benefit, not just the voters. So that's the part that I have some pause on, is it only benefits the voters, and it almost sounds like they're doing it for, you know, the votes.
The timing
because-
with the midterm elections coming up is fishy at best.
Exactly. But I do like the idea that, hey, you know, government supplementing part of education, which they should. And I think this is a great idea, poorly executed, like you said, with the income brackets and, you know, things of that nature. Now, of course, you have something personal that just recently happened.
It is, man. So you know, that makes I love the idea of the government helping with student loans, right? Like, and like dropping the interest rates, which is actually part of this too. You know, benefits the future. Like, if they could figure out how to subsidize the interest rate on the student loans, but still make people pay back.
Can
the debt,
we not
Right.
subsidize the student loans and instead put caps on, like, you know, instead of tuition going up at like 6% per year inflation rate, where inflation historically has been like 2.5%?
That's a good idea.
Can we just cap it so that they can't go higher than like
Yep.
the cost of living?
Yep.
And like start intervening that way?
There's a lot of better ideas out there, right? This idea that, right, assume you don't have a Pell Grant, right? You're just going to get $10,000 per person potentially. You know, the income cap for that, it goes back to what Paul says. The fact that somebody went through school and was successful, and they're not going to get this forgiven, right? What happens to all the families that sacrifice their life and parents that sacrifice vacations to pay for their kids' college? Don't get it. What happens to all those kids that busted their butt while in school to work a full-time job, so they didn't come out with student loans?
Yep.
Or they already, or like myself, I came out with student loans and I ate mac and cheese and ramen noodles for the first like 3 years and wiped them out. I didn't want to have student loans, so I paid them off. But I ate like crap. I didn't travel. I missed fucking friends' weddings, all kinds of stuff, so that I could pay off my student loans right away.
He still eats
Right.
like crap.
Yeah, whatever. Then on the other side, right, you know, my spouse just got married, would have qualified, but our combined incomes, we're probably not going to get it because we've done relatively well. She would have got it. If we didn't sign a marriage certificate this year, she would have had $10,000 of debt forgiven. And she has just about $10,000 of federal debt. Like, it would have wiped out her federal debt. And we might have to pay it back then. Now, fortunately, we have the means to pay it back, right? Like, it's not going to kill us to have to pay the debt back. But it is a little bit crappy. Like, just because we signed a piece of paper this year, we're going to lose out on $10,000 of government. Like, we're going to pay everybody else
that's
this
still
$10,000,
crappy, though, because you
and
know
we're
what?
not going to get the benefit.
Biden promised this when he got elected.
Correct.
And the fact that he waited over 2 years to do it,
It's going to kill us. It knocks
Absolutely.
it out for us.
that's what I'm saying.
And it's a
The
hard
timing
thing.
on this sucks.
It's a hard thing to gripe about, right? Of course, we have the means to pay for it. I understand what they're trying to do. They're trying to help, you know, lower income and middle income, you know, families. But to be completely honest, we live in California. We are lower to middle fucking income in Southern California. At the end of the day, from these these income caps, if you live in like Arkansas, fantastic.
Everyone
'Cause
qualifies.
everybody qualifies,
Oh.
right? And, like, if you're at the income cap,
For you
you're
millionaires
loaded.
in Arkansas, I apologize for these
Yeah,
guys'
and he
ignorance.
didn't mean to say income crap.
But it's just a hard one, man. Like, depending where you live, like you have to make more money in certain areas to be able to live even a middle income life. And if you make that same income somewhere else, you're loaded,
Yeah.
right? So like, it should have been adjusted. Like, I don't know what they could have done. I don't know the solution there. All I can say is just gifting out $10,000 this year, up to $20,000 per couple, or $40,000 with Pell Grant, is a miss. It helps just people today. It doesn't help next year's graduates or the following year's graduates or a graduate's 10 years. There's now an expectation the government's going to step in. And honestly, I think it just breeds bad behavior. Like, why would I pay for my kids now if I can expect the government to go in and forgive it for them?
And why
I'm a
would you
financial
root for
planner.
them to do well if they can just, you know, stay mediocre and
And get it all forgiven.
get it all forgiven? Exactly.
So I'm a financial planner and I do education planning with my clients all the time. So like, do I have to change my recommendations now of instead of overfunding a 529 potentially, just underfund the 529 and let the government hopefully
Pay for it.
Pay for it? Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
And now we got to do the disclaimer because he just said that.
Oh, we do. So the thing is, man, at the end of the day, we are not giving advice. This is what Paul and I do for a living. We work in finances. So at the end of the day, this is not meant to be advice. This is meant to just be an objective conversation.
Yep.
I think it's going to benefit a ton of people. Don't get that wrong. It definitely is going to benefit a ton of people. But at the end of the day, I think it's just mismanaged. There was a better way to go about giving this. And honestly, I think the easiest one would have been just to knock everybody's interest rate. Even if it was 0 interest rate, subsidize all of the interest rate, or 1 or 2%.
But make them pay them back.
Make them pay it back.
Exactly.
You took a loan out, make them pay the loan back.
Hence why we're celebrating Labor Day today, guys.
Damn right.
Yep.
All you hardworking Americans, thank you. Enjoy your day off.
The unemployment at like almost all-time lows, guys. Like, this is why
Right.
we are the greatest country in the world, right? Not student loan forgiveness, but because we all bust our butts to make this country great. And honestly, guys, tribute. Salute
Absolutely.
to Labor Day. Guys,
cheers.
Drink up.
call it.
Drink up.
Burn down. Burn down.
And also, how about that disclaimer, huh? Come on, baby.
I tell him to just edit that out. Like, oh shoot, I
No.
should've said that.
I liked what you said because it gives people a perspective on the fact that we're not just goons, right? But you're not giving financial advice, which is, what you're saying absolutely makes sense. And people without your backgrounds also feel the same way, and we're gonna connect.
Well,
with them.
no, honestly, like this is something that I'm toying with right now, and
I actually
like,
loved the comment.
Okay.
I love the
concur.
comment too. Yeah, absolutely.
This is a real life thing that I'm trying to figure out. How do I handle my clients' recommendations going forward on this? Like,
Yeah, but it's
Absolutely.
something that everybody's going to deal with now. Like every
Right.
parent thinking about paying for their kids' college.
I love
it's
your,
not
I,
Dude, this-
I love your comment.
so this is delicious. This just takes the next level with
I
this
know.
cigar. Oh my god.
Fucking money.